Into the police killing of Charleena Lyles has come to an end. The jury finding that Seattle police officers were justified when they took the young woman's life back in 2017. Lyles had called to report a burglary before officers say she became aggressive. The decision came down late this afternoon. After 2 weeks of testimony, the 6-person jury determined officers acted within their training guidelines, shooting and killing Lyles, who was a mom and 4 months pregnant at that time. Fox 13 News reporter Jennifer Lee joining us live in the studio. So Jen, you spoke with Lyles' family. What did they have to say?
The family says they're disappointed but not surprised, and after the results of this inquest, they plan to keep fighting for criminal charges in the death of Charleena Lyles. Anger and disappointment spilling out at the end of the Charleena Lyles inquest.
Both of you. You give my daughter for nothing. Both of you.
Her father, Charles, talking directly to Seattle police officers Jason Anderson and Stephen McNew, who fired the deadly shots back in June of 2017.
Nothing's going to bring my daughter back, but I was hoping that they could at least be accountable for the actions that they did.
Lyles was a 30-year-old pregnant mom of 4. Police say she called 911 to report a burglary. Seattle police officers Anderson and McNew claim Lyles charged at them with a knife. Court documents say the officers shot her 7 times. Charleena's father expressed his dissatisfaction with the inquest process and was critical, saying it favored the officers.
Was the amount of force used by Officer Anderson or Officer McNew reasonable to affect the lawful purpose intended as defined in instruction numbers 11 and 12. 6 jurors responded yes as to each officer.
The 6-panel jury also believes there was no other effective alternative to the use of deadly force and says even a taser wouldn't have been effective.
I was hoping that this process was going to change my mind, that I wasn't going to think that you murdered my cousin and that you maybe had other options, but you murdered my cousin and you had several other options.
Lyles' 4 children now range in age from 6 to 17 years old. Last year, the city of Seattle paid the family a $3.5 million settlement in a wrongful death lawsuit. Their lawyer says in a statement, quote, "The family does not blame the jury for its decision. SPD's policies, practices, and procedures are designed specifically to allow an officer to shoot and kill a person in mental crisis with a paring knife. In those circumstances, officers are not trained to disarm. They are not trained to wound. They are trained to shoot to kill." Katrina Johnson is part of the Washington Coalition of Police Accountability and says she won't stop fighting for criminal charges in the death of her cousin.
I want someone held criminally liable for the killing of Charleena Lyles.
The King County prosecutor Dan Satterberg says a senior deputy prosecuting attorney observed the inquest process. In the coming weeks, his office will review all of the admissible evidence and the jury's answers to make a final charging decision. Back to you.